Hello, happy Wednesday, everybody. I cannot believe it is already Wednesday. This week seems to be flying by. I don't know about you guys, but my week has been super busy, a lot been going on, but also super exciting because spring, it feels like it is coming. Super exciting. Unfortunately, it sounds like we are going to get a winter storm, but hopefully it will be our last winter storm of the winter is what I'm hoping, crossing my fingers. I am definitely ready for spring. It's been a long winter. It's definitely been really tough, I think, getting through the winter, but still went on a run tonight and felt good that I have been putting in the work that I have been, even though it's been getting really hard to get up in the mornings and get to the gym because it's getting to the point where I'm like, I just want to run outside. I just want to be outside. I want it to be warm. Yes, so if you guys are having the same feelings I am, I'm with you. I get it, but it should be warm soon. So some of you might understand that are in upstate New York. It gets tough this time of year when we're so close to spring. But anyways, today, I wanted to talk a little bit about the Dirty Dozen, which is a list that comes out by EWG, so the Environmental Workers Working Group. Yes, I want to make sure I get that right. Working Group. So every year they come out with this list of what produce has the highest amount of pesticides. So they really test the vegetables, right, and fruits, and they see what really has a lot of vegetables, a lot of pesticides. So many of you probably know that a lot of our produce that is now grown, they use pesticides because they have to keep other things from eating it, right? Or they're not going to be able to produce that crop, right? And that is a waste of money. It doesn't feed people that way, right? And they want to make money. They want to feed people, right? And that's what farmers' really main job is. So anyways, if you are just tuning in, so if you are interested in learning about, plant-based eating, the Dirty Dozen list is what I'm going to focus on today, talking about organic and not organic produce. So if you are interested in that topic and really confused about what should I buy some produce organic, this is a great video for you to tune in on. I'm going to give lots of information and really put into, I'm going to give you guys some even tips that I think are great to kind of figure out, okay, there's this information that we're given, now what do we do about it? What do we do knowing this information? What is a consumer? What should we do? It's one thing to definitely be aware of it, right? But anything you read, you need to be critical of, and also really understand what can I do as a consumer? What is the best thing I can do? So I just want to give a little bit of background first about what the Dirty Dozen list is. So I did start kind of already explaining about it. So really that Dirty Dozen list, right, is the list that they come out with that the FDA, tests these fruits and vegetables to see how much pesticides are on them. So I want to get this right. So I just want to look back in my article that I was reading. But let's see, what was the percentage? So there was, let me go back to this. So 70, I think it said 70%. Oh, let's see. Okay. A lot of them were tested. So it said that 47 fruits and vegetables were tested for pesticides, and then analysis of recent data showed that 70% of this produce sold for consumption contained pesticide residues. And the thing is too that I want to explain is, why is this important for us to understand what produce has more pesticides on it? Because the way I look at it is that not all of the produce that we buy we know it's more expensive, right? It's more expensive to buy organic, but knowing this information does not mean that we need to buy everything organic, because if there are some fruits and vegetables that are low in pesticides, then is it really necessary that we buy organic, right? And then I also want to share some tips of what you can do to get those pesticides off of the produce if they are high in produce and you don't buy organic, or if you just want to make sure that that produce, even if it's organic, doesn't have as much pesticides. So I'll share those tips. But really, why is this important, right? So how do pesticides impact health? That is the question, right? Because that is something that we're all concerned with. You know, we're all concerned thinking we need to buy organic because we know pesticides are not good for our health, right? Well, the thing is, we don't really have that much information. There's not enough evidence, there's not enough research out there that really shows, you know, what the fact or what the amount of pesticides that we ingest actually affects our health. So the thing is, yes, you know, pesticides, there is research, there are studies done that the consumption of pesticides has been shown to be associated with cancer risk, fertility, and other health concerns. But in this article that I read too, going on, research on the effects of pesticides if humans is ongoing. There's not a complete understanding of whether a particular amount of pesticides is considered to be safe. But it does go on to talk about how really the potential risk for children with development, which completely makes sense to me because I know in my community, I work at a community agency that does a lot in the community, and we have a huge lead crisis, and kids that inject and eat lead from a lot of products that could be just in your house, toys, things like that. You know, paint, old houses that have the paint, you know, kids rub their cars, right, on the windowsill, and then kids put things in their mouth, right? So lead is actually very dangerous because it affects the development of kids. Same thing with pesticides. It's going to be a bigger concern with children ingesting pesticides because they're toxic. It's right, we know they're toxic, and for kids that are just developing, yes, that could be an issue. It could affect their development. So I think for children, there really is a little bit more of a bigger risk, but for adults, we really don't know the amount of pesticides that's, you know, really considered safe and what's really going to affect our health. So really, we just need to be cautious. So really, what do we do about this? Because, you know, I think it's really, I feel like it's very hard to, which is why I do really like this list, because for me, I'm like, it's so hard to buy all organic produce. It's so expensive, right, to buy organic produce. So the thing is, I think this list is really helpful because you can see what produce was highest in a certain produce to think about buying organic, but the other ones that are on their clean list, you don't necessarily have to buy those organic, right? So, you know, when you go to the shopping store, be aware of this list. You can bring it with you. You can print it out. I will put the link in this in the comments under this, in this video. It's EWG's 2019 shopping guide. So you can look at that list, and that can help you to figure out what should I buy organic, what should I, you know, what's okay to buy non-organic, and that can help you to save money, right? The other thing is always wash your fruits and vegetables. And I probably am the worst one to do this, but my mom has always been really good at this and always been, you know, really good at washing fruits and vegetables. And for me, I think I didn't quite understand why. Why do I need to wash my fruits and vegetables, right? But it's because of the pesticides, because of those pesticide residues that are outside of that fruit or vegetable produce, and it can seep inside, right? And that's what's not good for us. So just wash your fruits and vegetables. And it's so easy. You don't have to buy anything special, really. Everyone should have baking soda in your food pantry, right, at home. So really, that's all you need. Water, baking soda. You can just fill your sink up with cool water, add some baking soda, and soak your fruits and veggies for 8 to 15 minutes. scrub them, just make sure that they're clean, and then they're good for consumption. Of course, you're not going to be able to test them. You're not going to know how much pesticides actually off of it, but at least you are getting some of those pesticides off of that fruits and vegetables. And the other third tip that I want to share is grow your own. I think now we've gotten into, we live in a society where food is so easily accessible for us because we can go down the road now to go to fast food, right? We can go buy food that's already prepared for us. We can also go to the grocery store and just pick up anything. It doesn't have to be, our produce now doesn't have to be locally grown. And we don't just eat, we don't even just eat food that's even grown in New York. Like, for example, mangoes or pineapple. We don't even grow those. Avocados, we can't even grow those in New York. We don't have the climate. Oranges, especially and those are also things that, there is also a lot of produce that we can only in New York, unless you have a greenhouse, we only grow really during the growing season, and there's a long time where we can't grow anything, right? And so a lot of fruits and vegetables that we eat are imported, and we don't know where they're coming from. They could be coming from these farms that use a lot of pesticides. We don't know. So what you can do, maybe if you don't have even the means to have like a greenhouse or something like that, but you can always make a little garden, keep it inside, and then, when it starts to become spring and you need more room, you can go outside and plant it. But you don't need a lot of room. Like where I am now, I don't have a lot of space to probably have a garden this year. But what my idea is, what I like to do is do kind of a hanging garden. I have a balcony outside, and I want to get pots and, just be able to plant just a little bit of things that we'll plant. Maybe I'll try tomatoes. Maybe I can try herbs. I'm not going to have a lot of space, a lot of room, but I at least want to try to plant a little bit, this spring. So if you have space, in your yard, I've also done where I, wasn't sure about the soil, didn't have my tested soil or anything, and I decided I'm just going to go buy soil. So you can do raised beds, add soil. There's so many different ways to garden. And this is something I'm learning a lot too where I work now. And what I do for my full-time job is I also work with community gardens, and learning a lot more to myself about gardens. And I realize how I feel like it's became almost something that's a lost art. And I think because we have just, the social media is so big, it's not just social media, but we keep ourselves so busy all the time. There's always something we're doing, right? And a garden has become too much. It's too much work. We can't do it. But now there's studies coming out of how important gardens are and how good they are for our health. So, gardens are even good for your mental health, to give physical activity. Kids can go out there and, pick weeds and pick fruits and vegetables, do work in the garden. There's mental benefits because you're getting outside, you're getting in nature, right? So, and even if there's other people and family, or even if it's a community garden, right, you get that social ability from a garden. And that's something I think that's been really lost. Something that I would love to even learn myself is really how to can and freeze. It's something that I don't even know how to do. It's not a skill that I grew up learning. But I think it would be so valuable to be able to really learn those skills and really learn more about gardening, because it is a lot to it. There's a lot to learn with gardening. But I think that could, really help this issue of, buying organic produce is just so expensive. I don't understand. I want to eat my fruits and vegetables, but I hear all the time that it's too expensive. Well, if you have, the space and you have a little bit of a yard, make a garden. And it's not, like I said, it's not to too difficult to do or really too expensive to do. And honestly, in the long run, you're gonna save money the amount of produce that you make or that you grow than you'd actually buy. I found when I've done gardens before too, I've had so many tomatoes that I didn't even know what to do with them because they grew so many, and I was like, I don't even know what to do with these tomatoes. Like, I don't know how to make tomato sauce. I know how to make salsa. That's about it. But what do I do with all these tomatoes? I think I did try to make some sauce and freeze it, but I don't think that worked out very well. But fresh tomato sauce is so good. If you've never had fresh tomato sauce, it is awesome. It's definitely something that's, just something that we don't even think about. The difference of the taste is so much different than bought-in tomato sauce. Because if you grew up on bought-in tomato sauce, you might never think that anything could be better. But when you have homemade tomato sauce, you'll never want to go back because it is that good. But anyway, so those are my tips for, really figuring out, should I buy more organic? Should I buy organic produce? Should I buy non-organic? One, use that shopping list, know what produce has the highest amount of pesticides, and try to buy those organic if you can. If not, like I said, just wash, but that can save you a little bit because they're, ones that aren't tested as high in that pesticide list, then you can buy non-organic, right? But again, as I said, I think it's always good, no matter if you buy organic or non-organic, but especially if they're non-organic, we need to make sure that we're washing, scrubbing our fruits and vegetables, even bananas, which I was surprised about, because really those pesticides, even though it's protected by that skin and the pesticides on the outside, it can leak inside, right? So make sure you wash your fruits and vegetables. And as I said, third tip was try growing your own produce, and have a garden if you can. And freeze, can if you can, for the winter. So then you will have your own frozen, fresh or canned fruits and vegetables throughout the whole year. So those are my tips. Another thing that I did want to mention for nutrition, because I know you guys know that I come on here and talk a lot about nutrition. I love nutrition. It's what I studied in school, right? So with organic and non-produce, I hear this a lot, and people think that organic produce is healthier. Well, the thing is, there's no difference between organic and non-organic produce. Nutritionally, there's the same nutrition that you're going to get from non-organic and organic. So as I said, if you can't afford to buy non-organic, or all organic produce, that's okay, right? Use that list. Just buy organic what you feel like you have to, or just buy non-organic and just make sure you're soaking and washing and scrubbing those fruits and vegetables, because I don't want to deter anybody from not eating fruits and vegetables, because knowing that there's pesticides on our produce doesn't mean that you should not eat fruits and vegetables, right? Because fruits and vegetables, we know, have so many vitamins, so many minerals that are in it that are good for us. There's so many more studies coming out how we need to eat more plants, right? And that's why, as you guys know, I am a big proponent of plant-based eating. And when I say plant-based eating, it's really just eating more fruits and vegetables. I'm not saying you can't ever eat meat, ever, or dairy, if that's what you like. If you're like, I could never be plant-based like you because I like my cheese, that's okay. Eat your cheese. But what I want to, really promote is just eating more plants and vegetables, or more plants and fruits and vegetables is what I'm talking about, because that is what's good for our bodies, right? That is what those are the vitamins and nutrients that our body needs for our development, for our bodily functions, for everything to go on, and you're gonna feel better, right? your body's gonna work better and you're gonna feel better. And there's just so much to it that I feel like happens when we don't feel well, that's related to nutrition. And it's so hard for me to sit back and crunch my teeth knowing that if you just ate better, even if it might not really taste so good to you, to really eat more fruits and vegetables, it's really gonna benefit you so much. And I do believe in eating eating what you do enjoy, because that's okay. That I feel like is okay to do. But really, if you want to live long, if you want to live healthy, then you have to eat your fruits and vegetables, and that's just the way. That's just the way it is, because fruits and vegetables are what have the nutrients that are in them. And of course, there's always the option of supplements, but I would never want to, tell somebody, oh, you can eat whatever you want, just take supplements to get those nutrients in. No, because, right, we enjoy food and we like food and we do eat food for pleasure. But I think what we absorb, the nutrients, absorbing it through food is so much better than getting it from nutrients. And of course, there's always medical reasons. If people, can't eat, then that's a different case, right? That's a different thing. But I think everyone should learn what to eat is the best, to eat the best. And there's so many, I could go on about there's so many different ways and there's so many different diets out there now. And the thing is, it's not one size fits all for any of those diets. There's not one diet that's going to be best for everybody. But what I do know is eating more plants is going to help whoever that person is, whatever they have going on. Eating more plants, eating more fruits and vegetables is going to help. So that is my little spiel on that. So as I said, those are my 3 tips for shopping for organic, non-organic fruits and vegetables for produce. So I hope that was helpful for you guys. If you are interested in eating more plant-based, as I said, that does not mean you have to completely cut out meat, dairy, and all of that. I just want to help you to eat more plants in your diet, whatever that means to you, wherever you are in that stage. So if you are interested in that, you can certainly reach out to me. Just give me a message. And I will get back to you as soon as I can. I also really would love to work with any runners that are interested or in plant-based eating, or maybe you already are, but you're not sure if you're eating the right foods to perform well, right? Because it can be tricky. And of course, if you are fully plant-based, you can have nutrient deficiencies, and that's why I think it's so important to talk to a registered dietitian. So if that is you, certainly, again, reach out to me, message me. I will get back to you as soon as I can, and I would love to work with you. Another thing is I do have, if you are interested in, plant-based recipes, these are recipes geared towards runners, to female runners, but that does not mean that there may not be a recipe in there that you would like to try. If you want to try to make more plant-based meals, there certainly might be something in that book that you would be interested in making. So if you are interested in the ebook, all I would need is your email. So in exchange for your email, I will send you that ebook. So I have 11 plant-based recipes in that free ebook. You can download it after you give me my email. I'll send it to you and you can download it from the email. But to sign up for that, all you have to do is go right to my website, so ksnutritionfitness.com. Go to that website. Right on the first page, you'll see it asks for your name, your email. It'll send right to me. I will be able to add you to the email and send you that email right out to you. So hopefully, if that is something that you're interested in, you sign up for that, because I do want to get that out as much as I can, to help anybody that it will help to, maybe make one meal a week that's fully plant-based. That's all I ask. It's that simple, you know, if that's something that's new to you. You know, that's all I ask. Just try something. Try a recipe, as I said, once a week. See if you like it. You never know until you try it. It doesn't mean that if, you know, you're like, I really like meat, that you have to cut it all out. No, you don't have to. But I also want to be there for, you know, anyone that is fully plant-based now and is really just struggling, trying to figure out meals, trying to mix things up, because I know I do a lot of the same meals too, trying to make sure you get all the nutrients that you need. That can be a big struggle too, because if you're not having dairy, right, which is a food group, then you're going to be missing nutrients from your diet. And it could be more difficult, and especially for runners, I think it's a little bit more difficult because we have increased nutritional needs. And if we're not getting those increased nutritional needs than what the average person needs, then we can be deficient, and it's going to affect our performance. So I just want to help. That's really all it is. So if any of you two know anybody that would benefit from working with me, from the ebook of plant-based recipes, certainly let me know. You can just message me or let me know in the comments here below this video, and I will certainly get back to you as soon as I can. So anyways, I hope everybody enjoyed this video, and I hope it was helpful. I just saw a couple articles on my Facebook page that came out with what's on this dirty dozen list, and I thought that is a good topic that I should talk about, because my Facebook Live last Friday, I did get questions about organic and non-organic produce. So I thought it was something that should be talked about, and really explain what that list is about, right? What really is nutritionally, if there's a difference. And of course, as I said, there's really not. And it's really what, you know, we can put as much information out there to make. I think it's great now that consumers can be informed of the information, but now as a consumer, we need to take that information, digest it, and figure out, okay, what should I do about this? Right now I'm given this information, well, what do I do about it, right? And I think that's what's kind of lost sometimes. We can input so much information, but we don't really gather our own conclusions and really figure out, well, what is best for me? What works for me, right? And we really need to figure that out, because I think that's really important when it comes to our health, because it's really a personal personal value. Like, how do you value your health? What is really important to you? I know for a lot of people, their health is valuable to them, and they are very grateful for being healthy. But a lot of times what I see is that their actions aren't actually aligned with that belief. So we really, I think, need to do that. Like, if we're given this information, then we need to align our values with our beliefs and actually take care of ourselves and really do what we feel is best. And of course, it's hard. There's so much information out there. Nutrition changes constantly. There is, a lot of information that we can get so wrapped up, and not everything is true, right? That's out there about nutrition. So we do have to be careful. And unfortunately, I still think there's limited evidence in certain things that we need just more evidence, and we cannot really make conclusions on one study. And that's what makes it really hard, is that sometimes I think we jump to conclusions way too fast about things, and we really need more research on it. So we just have to be critical with whatever we read. But this was something that I did want to talk about, that I do think is true, that is an issue, but also, understanding the difference between organic, non-organic, and what can we do about it. So I hope this was really helpful. And again, if any of you are interested in eating more plant-based, if you know somebody that's interested in eating more plant-based, if you know someone that is but struggling, and not really sure if they're getting all the nutrients they need. If they are a plant-based runner, definitely, refer them to me, give them their name. You can certainly sign up for my ebook also by just going to my website. So I thank you guys so much. I really hope that you enjoyed this topic. I hope it was something that was valuable to you guys. Let me know in the comments how you thought about this video. And I will talk to you guys all soon. So have a wonderful rest of your week. And yeah, I will talk to you guys all soon. Bye.